Mr. Chairman, good to see you this morning. Happy New Year, and thank you for being here.
You bet. Good to be with you. Happy New Year to you as well.
So you're back at it, and you've got a busy session here. Talk to us about the priorities, and let's first get into the budget issues where we could see a government shutdown within 2 weeks. Are you prepared for that?
Well, I think the number one priority is the border. I mean, we're on pace to get to 12 million illegal migrants coming into the country in the Biden presidency. I mean, that's equivalent to the entire population of the state of Ohio. And we're not a small state. We're the 7th largest state. So that's the magnitude of this problem. So I think that's priority number one. We got two funding bills, you indicated, January 19th, February 2nd, when government funding, those are due. And then, of course, we got the impeachment of Secretary Mayorkas and the impeachment inquiry into President Trump, President Biden. So we got a busy month coming up, and we're gonna tackle all those. But I do think the border situation, it's why we were down there this past week with over 60 members there this week. I do think that's priority number one. When you have something of this size, this magnitude, and it's been done intentionally. I always say this is willful, this is deliberate, this is intentionally done with the policy changes the Biden administration put in. So we're focused as Republicans on getting that fixed. And if Democrats think it's more important to have an open border than to fund the government, that's their problem.
So you're willing to take this to the mat and allow the government to shut down unless he has some new border legislation then?
I think we have to, because I think that's what the American people demand. I mean, right now, polling shows 8 out of 10 Americans know that this is a crisis on our southern border. So we've got to deal with that. That's, again, why Speaker Johnson took the largest delegation ever to the border this past week. We saw firsthand how serious it was. And we heard from everyone. Sheriffs, we heard from Border Patrol agents about how bad this problem is, and they want us to go to the mat to solve this now instead of continuing on this pace that'll get us to, as I said, 12 million illegal migrants coming into the country, being released into the country under the Biden presidency.
Yeah, it's pretty extraordinary, and we will talk with Kari Lake and Stephen Miller coming up about this. But let me get your take on where you are on all of the other business at hand. Congressman, you're only at a 2-seat majority right now. Your majority is dwindling, and it is dwindling fast. Do you feel you have the votes for an impeachment of Mayorkas and an impeachment inquiry of Biden?
I do. I mean, we'll see. Again, it's all driven by the facts and the evidence. That's how we've played this, much different than what the Democrats did when they impeached President Trump. They decided on that before they even examined any evidence. And of course, there was no evidence there. But we're going to look at the facts. We're going to look at the evidence. We do think on the impeachment inquiry into President Biden, we do think the key witnesses are going to come in this month. We think we're going to have all those Rob Walker, Eric Schwerin, Jim Biden, Kevin Morris. We think we're going to talk to all those individuals this month, and then we'll make a decision. And then when it comes to Secretary Mayorkas, again, multiple times he has misled the Congress. We know how bad the situation is. Chairman Green in the Homeland Security Committee is committed to moving forward with that. I think they start hearings on Wednesday. And of course, on Wednesday, both in the Oversight Committee and in the Judiciary Committee, we will mark up the report on contempt for Hunter Biden's failure to appear for a deposition last month.
Yeah, and that is a lot that you're dealing with. I guess the question becomes, what does contempt of Congress charges mean for Hunter Biden?
Well, if we pass it out of the committee, then pass it to the full House, which I think we can do, then it goes to the Justice Department. That'll be the Attorney General's decision whether he's going to press charges. But if he does, I mean, it could be up to a year of jail time for failing to come and comply with a deposition and for subpoena deposition to be interviewed by Congress. So this is serious stuff. And again, remember, Merrick Garland has prosecuted Steve Bannon, Peter Navarro for failure to show up in front of Congress when they were subpoenaed for a deposition. So we'll see what happens if when that goes to the Attorney General. But that will be his call. But I do think there was support in the House, certainly in the House Judiciary Committee and the House Oversight Committee, to pass that contempt resolution, and then it'll go to the House floor, I think, quickly thereafter.
So you believe you will get all of these depositions done by the end of January? Some of the people you just mentioned. Give us your sense of what the most damning evidence is that you have so far on Joe Biden regarding bribery, potential money laundering. These are the terms that you and your colleagues have been using. Where's the evidence, and do you believe you're going to find more from these depositions by the end of January?
I do. To the last question, the most, I think, damning evidence thus far is what we got from Devin Archer when we deposed Hunter Biden's business partner, because he says what they were selling was the brand. Remember, there's no business here. They're selling access to the brand. The brand is the big guy. The brand is Joe Biden. Devin Archer said that. The best way to tell this story is through Hunter Biden's interaction and Joe Biden's interaction when Hunter Biden was on the board of this Ukrainian energy company, Burisma. I always say there are 4 fundamental facts. Fact number 1, Hunter Biden gets put on the board of this company. Fact number 2, he's not qualified. He said so himself. Fact number 3 is that he's asked by the leaders of this company to weigh in with D.C. and his father to help them deal with the pressure they're under. Fact number 4, Joe Biden goes to Ukraine and conditions the release of American tax dollars to Ukraine on the firing of the prosecutor who was applying the very pressure to this company, Burisma, that Hunter Biden sat on the board of. Those are the facts. And then you have probably the biggest concern is the cover-up, I think, that took place at the Justice Department, and that we frankly wouldn't have known about but for 2 whistleblowers coming forward and telling us what was going on. So this is really an old story, Maria. It's a politician does certain things that benefit his family financially, and then there's an attempt to sweep it under the rug and hide it. And that's what we have here. And we continue to gather evidence. I think we're going to get more as we talk to these key guys, these key individuals this month.
All right. We'll be watching all of that. A key month for sure. Mr. Chairman, thank you. We appreciate your time.
You bet.
House
Thank you,
Judiciary
Maria.
Committee Chairman, Congressman Jim Jordan. Thank you.